Good evening students, I am Dr. Shubhi and I am discussing lists in Python in this session. Lists are series of some certain values which can be stored in within square brackets. So for the first time when we are learning Python, it is very comfortable to work on lists. For example, I am creating a list of, let's say, few numbers. You can see over here, this is a list which is having a variable name age. So age is a set of numbers, set of ages which is stored in a variable age. If I write age over here and I press enter, I run it, then I find that I get the list data type. I can also check the data type with the help of the type function. If I pass age in the type function, I'll get the type of it. So you can see the type of age variable is list. So list is basically a collection data type. It is a data type of collection where collection of values is stored under one name. Now let's take one more example. Supposingly I'm using a particular list of names. For example, names of products, soaps, then rice, then let's say biscuits. Okay, so these are three names of three products, and my list is created, and I'm just running it to see whether it is created or not. So yes, it is created. So this is how we create lists. Lists can have mixed values as well. Let's see what I mean to say when I'm saying mixed values. Mixed is very much like a goodie bag where I have lot of items, lot of values. Let's say the variable name is item, and here I'm storing five numbers, and then I'm storing a title, let's say Mr. Then I'm storing let's say a name Shubh, and then let's say I'm storing a float value, which is how come this is float, because it is having significant digits after the decimal point. So I'm storing different type of data over here, and again I have created a list. If I run it items, I see that I can also get such kind of data. So sometimes in data analytics we have clean, or we can say we can have data of same data type, and sometimes we get data which is in the mixed form. So lists support both the type of data. So this is how we create a list. Now quickly see certain functions which are applicable on lists. So very quickly I'm using the list which I have created, which is age. So I'm again writing for you all, copying from here and writing here so that you can again see and recollect. So this is my list age, and now suppose I write over here max, and I pass this variable age as a parameter in the function age, and I run. So I get the maximum age is 89, which you can see over here 89 is the maximum age. Likewise I can have min, which will return the minimum age 1. Again I can have a sum function, and I pass the list variable age, and I can also find out the sum total of ages which is there in the list. So these are some quick numerical functions which I can apply on the list variables, and I can get some insight on the data. But when we have to understand the data, where we want to know do some kind of statistical analysis, like we want to find out the percentile, quartiles, median, mean, and count, such kind of functions are required, and some more advanced functions. Then we shift from list, we start shifting our data structure to arrays and then to series. So we will see that in the later sessions. As of now you understand that list is a sequence of values which can be of same data type, or they can be of different data type. Yes, there is something which is very interesting that I want to show you all, that a list can have another list within it. For example, I'm having values 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm having one more list which is having some other numbers. So basically now this is also a list data type, but there is a list inside another list. Okay, so it is not just up to the character data or string data or float data, we can also have list inside list. And if I print over here, you can see that it is working and it is showing both the incomplete data. So this is about list. Now understand the concept of slicing. Now when I say slicing, it means that I am trying to teach you that how to extract values from a list. That is, supposingly there is a list, let's say age, and I want to find out the zeroth value. So the first location is always the zeroth value, and you can see over here age 0 is 1. Okay, and if I want to have, let's say, age 3, so any guesses what will come? Yes, it will not give the value at the third index. It will give you the value at the third location. So the value would be 4. Okay, so you can see over here the index of value 1 in this list is 0, 2 is 1, 3 is 2, and 4 is 3. So which means the index of a list starts from 0 to n minus 1. So if there are n items, the index will be till n minus 1. That is the catch that you have to understand. Now can you think or about what will be the output if I pass 4 over here? Yes, you are correct. We will, if we write age 4, we will get the entire list 56, 67, 67 and 78. This list is at the fourth location. I mean at the fifth location where the index is 4. So at the fifth location we have yet another list. So that is how we have to understand that how we can find out values from the list. Now let's take some slicing concepts. That what is slicing? Suppose I write 0 to 3. So what will happen over here? If I write 0 to 3, I am getting the values 1, 2, 3. Why? Because it is giving me the values at the location 0, 1 and 2. So always keep in mind that when we are passing a range within the brackets of a list, the upper limit is excluded. It is from the lower limit to 1 minus upper limit. So basically from 0, 3 elements will be coming. That is what it is. Likewise, now supposingly sometimes it happens that we don't know how many elements are there in the list. Okay, so in that case it is a very good practice to use negative counting from the back side, from the end of the list. So suppose I write over here from 0, I don't want the last two elements. Okay, um, I don't want last two elements. So the last element is called as minus 1, and I write minus 2 over here, which means the last element and the second last element will not be displayed, and the rest of the item will be displayed. So you can see again 1, 2, 3 are coming because the last element is the entire list and the second last element is 4. Let's understand this concept with little modification in this data so that you can also um, keep this in mind forever. Suppose I write over here 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So now what happens? We have lot of values and we have no time to count how many values are there. So what we will do over here, suppose I want all the values excluding the last value. Okay. So what I will do, I will write over here age and square brackets where I am passing the index, that is from 0 to minus 1. So I don't want the last element, but I want rest of the elements. But and I also don't know the length of the list. So every time I'm not worried about that. I can do it very easily. And you can see I am getting all the numbers from 1 to 10 excluding the last element. So likewise, suppose I don't want last three elements. So in that case what I will do, I am writing 0 to minus 3. So minus 3 means it is not giving me minus 1, it is not giving me minus 2 and not giving me minus 3. And minus 3 is what? 9. Minus 2 is 10. So like that, back counting is also applicable when the list is quite long. Now suppose there is a particular number, I am adding some more numbers for you so that you can understand the concept very easily and it is registered forever. So you can see over here there are two lists. And now this is a huge list and I don't want to apply much of my energy on counting how many elements are there. I want all the elements from the beginning till the third last element. Okay, so what I am writing over here from 0 to third last element. Okay, so I'll write here minus 2, which means minus 1 will be excluded and minus 2 will also be included, because the thumb rule is that in the list the lower limit is included and the upper limit is not included. So again I am running in front of you and you can see the result. So you can see we have got till 78 and we are not including these two lists. So this is how we do slicing in lists. Now print all elements except last two. This is an exercise for you all. We have discussed this. Let's take one more variable, color, and over here I write, let's say, red, comma, blue and green. So there are three colors. Okay, and print all the elements except the last two. So what will we write? We will write over here color square brackets from 0 till, we don't want the last two elements, so from 0 to minus 2. So what happens? It will give, sorry, there is one error over here. Yeah, just a moment. Yeah, you can see the result over here. There was a little mistake of quotes and that is why that error came, but don't worry about such small errors, these are very common. So now from 0 to minus 1 less than minus 2, which means if it is minus 2, so it will show you till minus 3. So this is something very interesting that you have to understand, and we can very easily find out the values. Now after this there is one concept which is very important, and you can see reassigning a single element. Now suppose I want my color array at the 0th location, instead of having red, it should have white. Okay, so what I'm doing, I've reassigned white, color 0 with white, and you can see I write color and I get white over here in the list. So this is how we reassign. Suppose I want to delete few elements, that is also very simple. I use a command del color and I write over whatever I want to. Suppose from 0 to 2 I want to delete. So what will be deleted? Let's see. And here I am writing color. So you can see it is a blank. It is a blank list now. From 0 to 2 all the elements are deleted. Now deleting a single element, explicitly I have to write color and 0. So now actually it won't happen because first I have to recreate my this array. I'm just creating this for you all, and then I'm doing delete 0. So you can see I deleted 0 and now I want to see color. So I get blue green. So you can see 0th element is deleted. So this is how we are deleting elements in list. Now multi-dimensional list, this we have seen when we have more than one list in a list, it is called a multi-dimensional list. Now quickly see what is concatenation in list. Now suppose I have a list A and a list B. Okay, so what I am doing here, I have just created list and I write C equals to A plus B and I write C. So this is concatenation of Python list. So friends, this is basics about Python, that how to create list and how to work on list, and it is very easy language, and the collections, lists, tuples and dictionaries are very interesting. Keep watching my videos and you will find interesting videos where I will solve certain real-time work on some real-time data, and I'll do little bit of data analytics in front of you. So stay tuned to my channel. Have a great day.